Miss Nigeria competition.
And I said, you know, let's pick them up, let's take them back to Nigeria, and let's teach them a different kind of job.
The program is The Woman, the one-stop shop where you get to understand and find out what makes the woman thick. In the studio with me today is a personality I have for several years followed, modeled after and looked up to. She's been described in a lot of ways by different people, as a career politician, as a consultant in the business world, as a mother, as a whole lot of things put together. But I call her one place where you get to and you find out what makes the woman thick. Join me as I welcome a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the person of Senator Nkechi Nworgu, CON. You're welcome to The Woman.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
I was saying something to myself, but I'm glad I'm able to speak it all loud. Where have you been? You've been quiet for a while.
I've been in the home. There's a time for everything. There's a time to be constantly in the public eyes. There's also a time where you have a stock-taking process.
I know you in any way at all. If you did stock-taking, that means we expect a bomb when you hit next time. All right, we look forward to that. But for now, I'd like to know. A lot of people have described you in a lot of ways, just like I mentioned in the intro. But I'm particularly concerned with you as a career politician. I've actually followed you from the House, the State House, the lower house, the upper house, and even up to your governorship aspirants. Tell me, how did you choose politics?
Well, I would say that politics chose me because I already had a career. I was a banker. I was in the banking industry, and that's all that I have done all my life. From while I was abroad, I schooled in United Kingdom. I worked in United Kingdom from 1976 to 1986, between schooling and working, and I came back. I did my youth service between 1987 to 88 in International Merchant Bank, IMB, and after that, they hired me on, so I stayed on in the banking industry. I worked in Diamond Bank as a manager, and after that, I also continued in the financial industry. I established my own investment outfit, which was called Libra Investments. Exactly, everybody in Abuja would know Libra Investments that was located in Abuja. I was there, and even while I was still in the bank, in those days, I recall I was appointed a member of the Abuja State Economic Advisory Board under NRC when Dr. Gwenayano was the governor. I served in that capacity on that board from 1991 to 1993. So I would say that's why I say that politics chose me. I didn't go into politics because...
That's when you began to think about it.
Exactly. But before then, all this while, it was my husband of blessed memory that was the flag bearer in politics. And as a wife, I was following him on until after 3 attempts to get into elective position in Nigeria, it didn't work for him. I also established an NGO called Women in Action for Development, WEAFORD. It was an organization specifically meant for women to be groomed into income-generating activity. And by saying that, I saw my limitations as a person, that I could not do all I could do for women alone, except I go into some kind of politics in order to bring on board greater dividends for these women. And I saw in myself that there are a lot of women out there
who can do it.
Who can do it. So I decided to groom these women, myself inclusive, these women from 1994 to 97 to 2003, when I now felt I was ripe enough. However, in 1998, under the UNCP during the Abacha days, I felt then that I could even govern our state in 1998. And I aspired to be governor of my state in 1998.
That's Abia State.
Yes, Abia State under UNCP. Of course, as a result of the demise of the General Abacha then, that dream was truncated. And that actually spurred me on. By 1993, or within 1999 to 1993, I had run for election under a party position, and I was elected into Deputy National Treasurer of All Nigeria's People's Party, ANPP.
When you went into politics as a woman, we could actually count the number of people who were the same gender with you. Were you not daunted? Because from your story, your husband had tried, it didn't just work out.
Yeah.
I mean, if a man tried and it didn't work out, who am I, a woman?
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. What happened? Definitely, I was daunted. There were a lot of distractions. There were a lot of frustrations. There were some setback. It was something like it was never given to me on a platter of gold. I always worked for it, and that's why I keep telling women, you can never get power or recognition on the platter of gold. It doesn't work. Neither can it work by you are pretending or bringing yourself down to men. With due respect, I respected my husband for 38 years. I was a loyal wife, and I knew that my husband was my boss. He was my head, but I was the neck to direct the head or to assist the head. So I had a blissful marriage, and even told God in various campaigns I went to, that prayers that I had, that if there would be a second coming in life, please give me back, or let Dr. Roland Nworgu be the one to marry me again in the next world. Because, oh yes, it was a good marriage. But having said that, women are human beings, you know, just like any other human being. I have gone to school, and a man has gone to school. We have acquired our educations, just like any man has acquired his education. Why would you portray a complex on yourself when it comes to governance or when it comes to position of leadership? I think it is wrong. And that is why, despite the skirmishes, the chauvinisms, you go in a crowd of, for instance, in that board that I told you, between 91 to 93, I was the only woman on that board. And we had men of timber and caliber. But it did not deter me from being committed, being focused, realizing that I was there to render service. You see, what will propel any woman is your ability to showcase your intellectual prowess, not your gender, not your physical beauty. Beauty will fade. I am a woman, and I'm proud to be a woman. I believe that I am complementary to my male folks. We need to work together because it takes two to tango.
All right. Okay, I'll get to talk about that tangling much more later. But I would like to know, you were in the house, both the lower house and the upper house, you know, for quite a while, you know, and I saw a lot of exciting bills. Some you sponsored, some you were part of, and I'd like to know which of these bills, you know, excited you more.
The one bill that excited me, I would say most, I was most excited, was the bill that established the Asset Management Company of Nigeria, called AMCON. Why I'm excited about that bill is that that bill gave the banking industry stability. If it were not for the existence of Asset Management Company of Nigeria, AMCON, most banks would have, current banks, a lot of them would have gone down like the ones that went down from 2005 to 2006, 7, and 8. There were over 34 banks that went down, out of business, and they went down with people's depositors' monies up till today. and you know the whole story. But with the existence of AMCON, that bill that I sponsored, at least whatever is, if a bank is in short supply of liquidity or funds, and they have too much bad loans, AMCON is a vehicle that is established to take out some of their toxic loans. They will take it out, pay them a discounted amount. No bank, to the best of my knowledge, will ever fall out of bad loans. That's one bill. There's another bill that I am also excited about that, and it affects my my life. It's again in the banking industry, the issue of dormant accounts. You know, before, when you have a dormant account over a while, the banks can just technically transfer that money and recognize it as income for them, which is not good. Today, there is a law that makes it that even if you leave your account for 10 years, you know, you can come back. All you need to do is reactivation. You reactivate that account, and the money will be accessible to you once again. There is also one that we did when I was Senate Committee Chairman on gas. Before now, or before that time, I was Senate Committee Chairman on gas from 2011 to 2015. We didn't have a metering tendency. We didn't have metering. Nigeria relied on the IOCs to tell us how much gas they were metering. And I felt that it was absurd. And it's something that I could not understand, how we will rely on a company that is in joint business with Nigeria. They will be the one to tell you, oh, this is how much we think we have metered, we have extracted associated gas. And I felt it was wrong, and we compelled NNPC to establish metering operations in all the gas locations, and that one is still in place. And finally, there is also a motion that we moved that has to do with dividend rendering on gas on the joint companies. I'm glad that today it has become topical issues where people are saying, where are these dividends? You go into joint partnership with a company up to 10 years. The company is producing, and you're not getting anything. It's on record today that NLNG started from 2015 to make public the dividend that is due to Nigerian government, and it no longer ends on the table of NNPC, which is what we were quarreling with the last government. It no longer ends on the table of NNPC. It goes into the federation account. It is on record. So these are some of the things that I look back and I'm proud of. Yeah.
Very exciting. In the last election, you contested for the gubernatorial position in your state and the state.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, what happened? Talk to us about your experience.
It's a sad story. It's a sad story, and I would say I was duped. Let me put it, political duping. I was duped. I was, I would say, woman-handled. I wouldn't say man-handled. And that is why the glory of God parted from that party. When a salt ceases to be its salt, having been in the National Assembly for 12 years, 4 years in the House of Reps, 8 years in the Senate, I felt that I've done some contributions, notable ones, in the legislature. Let me go and make decent contribution in the executive arm of government. I did consultations nationwide, even outside the shores of this country. And I thought that I would be given a level playground. I never asked to be hoisted as a governor. That is what is killing this nation. hoisting mediocres. The previous, the last governor just did what he did. I don't want to say too much on the national television, but God knows that that was the final death of People's Democratic Party, because they failed. They did not allow people to test their popularities. It was not only in my state, nationwide. Most of you would know better. They took my money. I paid every fees. They took all the ones, even the ones that were given to you as this is the thing you need to do. I never asked to be hoisted as a governor. I wanted to be allowed to go out there and contest for the position of governorship candidate first. And if I fail, I would know that my people did not want me. But the last governor would not have it. He trickishly, I don't know what he did, convinced people there was no primary, there was no delegate primaries. He took all his house workers, domestic workers, to be the delegate instead of the party 3-man delegate that was supposed to be. That was what happened. I was robbed of my opportunity of testing for my popularity. And during that time as well, that was when my husband was very sick. I had a raw deal. I was badly treated by my people, led by the last governor. In my 2 Senate seats, the same man robbed us. I went up to Supreme Court for them to confirm that my local government was part of my senatorial district. It was a calculated attempt to I would say, to kill himself, not me, politically. But alas, my God is alive. And I am alive today to be in the land of living, to see. He hoisted, you know who we have in our state. It's not for today I will give that interview on when we shall talk about the development. I use this medium to ask NTA to take a searchlight in Abuja State and see where we have been from 1999 to date, and see whether the glory of God has not departed in that place. I challenge every media or any media organization to, I will take care of every logistics. Let them go there and see what is happening. People are suffering, but they suppress the news. That's not why we are here today. So that was my predicament in 2015. But a good general is the one that runs away from the army, from the war, so that you will be alive. Well, I'm not saying I'm going to run or that.
To fight again.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm running or not running. Not yet for decision. Okay. That shall come someday. But what I'm saying is that I am a woman. It's not a disadvantage. It's not a deterrent. It's not a setback. It's not a handicap. Because what does it take to be a decision maker in a level, like to be a governor governing 184 wards of my state, 17 local government, in my state, 3 senatorial districts? What does it take to know what Abians are looking for? You don't just jump into that arena because you have been captioned a governor. As I said, that's not a story for today. Let's talk other issues.
All right, so that's not the story for today, but definitely I'd like to know, from the strength of your experience, you've been in this game, very long, and like you said, you have learned a whole lot. You've also been woman-handled, quoting your words.
Yes.
Now, do you think women are really able to turn around things in this country if given the opportunity?
Oh, definitely. I think that a woman can, even if you have what it takes, you have to do your self-appraisal, assessment first. Women, all I want to tell my fellow women out there is, don't expect somebody to hoist you on any position. It comes with a price if you do that. And that price, maybe you will be degraded, you will be you will be subdued, you will be dehumanized. Nkechi Nworgu is not going to be in that category. Nkechi Nworgu is somebody that my late parents starved to train me. Nkechi Nworgu is somebody God has molded for better and greater things in life. I believe that. Let me tell you, after 2015, I was already enrolled for my PhD. I'm just at about 10-15% left to conclude it. I'm also doing my MBA in leadership and sustainability in UK. And thank God, in this government, I was given appointment as the Pro-Chancellor, Chairman, Governing Council of University of Calabar. So my hands are full. I'm forever grateful to God. I do not think that the purpose of my coming on earth is just for my personal well-being alone. No. If it were, I wouldn't be here talking with you. I will not. But thank God for my faith. Because I know that if I do not do more things for the well-being of the generality of people out there, on the last day, God will ask you and me, Nkechi Nworgu, I gave you this opportunity and that opportunity. What did you do? You used it to take care of your children and yourself alone? I don't think God will be happy with me.
You've talked so much about your public career and what was, what is, and we look forward to what will be. But I know that moving on, you have actually acquired another title for yourself, that is grandmother. And you don't look it. I keep asking, what does she do? You haven't told us. You say it's DNA. We believe it, but there is more than DNA. But I'm wondering, how are you enjoying grandmotherhood?
Oh, I am blessed. Every weekend, I look forward to my 6 grandchildren from my 2 children.
Wow,
I have 3 children. 2 of them this one has 3, this one has 3. So my daughter has 3 children. My first son has 3 children. And every weekend, they come and make my house bubbly. My husband passed away 2.5 years ago. And ordinarily, I would be a lonely woman. But I'm not. Despite the fact that I have colleagues, fellow senators, people in public life, but my weekends are the best. I have my grandchildren. One of my grandchildren saw me. Every time she runs into my bedroom, I have a reading table. And I say, Soma, don't touch my laptop. He said, Grandma, you're always reading. So you didn't go to school before? So I said, no, Grandma went to school before. Grandma needs to update. Grandma needs to be in tune with the tenets of the demands of leadership of today. And you're talking about my looks. Yes, as a grandmother, I'm in my 60s, and I'm proud about that, and I play golf, and I'm happy. I see my grandchildren. I am grateful. I'm contented. I'm satisfied. I'm grateful to God.
With you and your kids, I'm just wondering, as you're speaking, would they call you mommy? Would they call you senator?
No, my grandchildren call me grandma. They call me grandma. Some of my cousins' children, they will call grandma senator. They call me all manners of names. So for women, I'm urging them to get up from your seat. Test yourself. Don't go because Nkechi Nworgu is, I want to be one thing or the other. You say, I want to be like her. You want to start from that thing that Nkechi Nworgu is doing. No. Remember, I used to, I go to village meeting. I tie their wrapper, which is like about 2,000 naira or 3,000. I tie that same type with them. In my church, I was an usher for 7 years here in Abuja. And I'm doing it not because in fact, it was because of my presence in the church as an usher that now we have judges being ushers, lawyers being ushers, other people of various positions now being usher. But when I started it in 2003, as a member House of Reps, wearing only black and white, I wore that for many years. I was not wearing my nice raw George silk and all that. Those ones were for like weddings. But for church, it was whatever uniform we were wearing on a Sunday. It's only since my
But
after
nice to come to the church and have your senator, usher me in.
usher you,
Nice.
carry my tray, go round. Because for me, I said to myself, what can I do for God with all these good things He has done for me? So, my dear women, my dear sisters, humility is first thing that will take you to anywhere, and you don't pretend it.
You have to be it.
You have to be it. It has to be part of you. You have to ask God to give you that spirit of humility, because the men were created first anyway. So before we were made. So no matter how high up we are, we must remember that there is that divine supremacy, superiority in them.
All right, thank you so much. It's been an amazing time with you. Like you said, we never know it all. And each time I speak with you, I learn a whole lot. Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure having me.
All right, you heard it from the master herself. And she simply puts it, humility is it. You don't have to fake it. You have to be it. And then in being humble, you must grow, step by step to be where you want to be. That's how we wrap it up on today's edition of The Woman. I have been particularly, humbled myself and taught as well by the distinguished senator in the House. Thank you. Keep a date with us again next time. I remain Elizabeth Abai.
Doctors or that are not married, and they are doing this incredible.
Well, there's a mirage of things. I think first of all we have to go back to
The writer, you are very well known for your teaching skills. Your students speak a whole lot about you. Miss Nigeria competition.
I said, let's pick them up, let's take them back to Nigeria, and let's teach them a different kind of job.